of how they're grasping the special teams, or what are you seeing there?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure about 2 units, but because it was a third unit too. So
No. I
we're
just meant the PK.
oh, I'm
Between the
sorry.
PK and the power.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
should have
No,
clarified that.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's first day. There's a lot of teaching, a lot of kind of first time through some of our things that we wanted to change up this time. I thought it was a lot smoother. We've had a chance to do it in the games. There's a lot of good video that both Davis and Dean showed before practice of us executing some of the new things we were implementing, and yeah, that was good execution. I liked a lot of what I saw.
I know Adam had mentioned he was really impressed with the entries, and we asked him what he saw from the captain's perspective. But from the seats, is the rotation coming along at a clip that you like as well, and that Davis is happy with?
Yeah, you know what? If you can't get in and get set, first of all, face-offs. You got to have a jump mentality, and I thought you look at that game in Minnesota, our face-off losses were great on our recoveries. We had a couple of real good ones that we showed. That's the starting point. If you lose it, it goes down the ice. The next thing is you got to get into the zone and get yourself ready to go. And if you're spending all your time breaking out, obviously it's not very advantageous to be on the power play. So our execution has been, and our detail on our entries has been really good. And so far, I mean, we'll see again when we get into Wednesday's game how it looks against Calgary, and keep working on that.
These dedicated special team sessions of particular importance to Cole and Nikolai, who are somewhat new to the bumper positions on those first 2 units?
Yes, for sure. But the biggest thing is sort of how Davis is coming at them with their language, the attack mentality, the recoveries. So it is kind of everybody. We have, there's Scheif has some things that he's got to do a little different. JMO, whoever it is, there's lots of different things that everybody's got to pay attention to. So, but those guys, I mean, Fetz was in there a little bit last year, but for Fly, that is a new spot, and we wanted to give him an opportunity to try it. And, so it was, I like what I see so far. And like I said, when we first talked about it, that he has some quickness to get the pucks to support the battles and, to kind of help us in that slot area with that quick shot. So, so far so good. I mean, we'll see them on Wednesday night and see how it looks again.
With Scheifele and Connor, maybe doing some penalty kill work, is that also kind of signaling that the second power play unit will get more ice time? Because, if they're killing penalties, they can't be playing the full 2 minutes sort of thing?
I think there is a little bit that, but it also kind of creeps into the 5-on-5, right? Okay. Because if they're out killing penalties, then their 5-on-5 minutes will probably end up dropping a little bit. So it kind of balances in a little different areas. You're right, the second unit maybe go. But the biggest thing is that everybody going through these reps and everybody, getting opportunities, that there's lots of times, and it happens a tremendous amount of times, where your top people draw the penalties, and they might have been out on the ice for 30 or 40 seconds. You have to have the confidence to throw that second unit out and them to go out and start the power play off correctly. Mm-hmm. Do it right. Break down the opposition's penalty kill early, maybe not score, but now our first unit comes out, and there you go. Now you got the other team on their heels. So there's both 5-on-5, the ice time changes, but also with the specialty teams.
Scott, there's a lot of debate going on because we've seen a number of star players get hurt in the preseason, the risk-reward of maybe playing stars in preseason games. The idea is the preseason too long. Where do you kind of fall on that? I mean, guys can get hurt, obviously, anytime. The 2 injuries you have on your team weren't game-related injuries, right? So is it just kind of par for the course? You take that risk?
You know what? We talked about this, I guess, a year ago when management came to the coaches and asked, do we want to play 8 exhibition games? Do you want to, it's hard to play 7. It'd be great if we could play 7, but everybody wants to do a home and home. So we really like the idea of 6. 7 would be great if we could find somebody. But at the end of the day, for me, 6, it gives us more practice time and maybe reduces those chances of some of those injuries happen. But freak things happen, and you just never know when that's going to hit you. But I like the 6 number. Our players like it too. I don't like the fact that we had to go back-to-back in the first 3-4 days, and then that's just because Minnesota was new to us. So we'll work on something a little bit better than that, but for next year. But at the end of the day, I like the 6. I think that it gives the great balance or the ratio of the practice to the games, and kind of gets us set for the next week when we start.
It's safe to say camp is shorter now than when you were a player back in the day, right? Guys, I mean, the old talk of guys used to come to camp just to get in shape, and it would go on like, what, a month?
And they used to do the 2-a-days, throw the wet equipment on, yeah. So, no, this is get up and go. Like you're playing usually you're playing the third day in, and you've got to be in top shape, or it's third or fourth day, and you got to be ready to go. And these guys are 12-month of the year athletes. They're working out all the time. In our day, we didn't, not so much, you know.
It sounds like you've emphasized competitiveness and intensity a lot. How's that looking so far?
It's been good. It's really been good, and that's what I've been stressing in these practices, that we're not just, we have every day has to be a growth day. Every day we have to get better, and the compete part makes it. One, you're competing hard, but it's also the guy you're going against has to do it. He's got to match it up. If he doesn't match it, you're maybe making him look bad, or you're taking the puck away, or whatever it might be. So we've talked about the compete. We've talked about trying to make every practice look like a game, so that when we get into the games, it's smooth transition. And so far, I've been pretty pleased with what I've seen.